Hello, friends. Thank you for joining me today. And today we will be doing a pre-run flow. So a bit more dynamic. We'll be looking at trying to warm up the body, loosen up the joints, get the blood flowing, and get ready to go for a run. So let's turn on to hands and knees, tabletop position. So we'll bring hands below the shoulders, knees below the hips, and we'll get started with a few cat-cow. So once you've found your tabletop, let's go ahead and inhale to round the spine. Tuck the tailbone under. Tuck the chin towards the chest. And exhale. We are looking up to the ceiling. And let's alternate between these two poses, moving at your pace. Moving with the breath. It's a great way to warm up our deep breathing before we go out for a run as well. Taking one or two more each here. And last one here, big breath in. And we arch, let it go for one more cow. Then we'll come back into our tabletop position, neutral spine. We'll take the right hand off the floor. Inhale, open up to the ceiling. Look up to that hand, stretch out through the pecs, through the shoulders. And we'll thread the needle coming underneath and down towards the floor with our right shoulder. But let's just hover above the ground here. And then we'll inhale, open back up through to the ceiling. So we'll take a more dynamic version of our thread the needle today, coming back through and pressing through the left palm. We open up again and exhale back through. Let's take one more here. Making sure we press through our left palm, not putting pressure through the wrist. And plant the right hand back down. Let's move to our right knee. So we'll come onto our left knee, hovering the right knee above the floor. And let's draw a circle with this right knee, keeping the back level. So we'll take our hip opener here. These get called hip cars. Just looking to draw a circle with the right kneecap without moving the rest of the body. So let's go ahead and switch directions. Taking about 4 or 5 each way, loosening up through the hips. A great one if you've been seated all day. And let's place the right knee back down on the ground. We'll switch sides. So let's inhale, left hand up to the ceiling for our thread the needle first. Exhale, feed it through to the ground. And inhale back up through center. Nice press through the right palm this time. Inhale, coming through. Exhale, coming through. And inhale, opening back up. Trying to keep the hips square here so we don't want them waving back and forth too much. Inhale back up through center. Again, taking about 4 or 5 of these here. We stay with our breath. And left hand comes back to tabletop. Let's shift our weight over to the right knees. We get ready for our left side hip cars, hip openers. So whatever direction you'd like to go first, drawing your circle with the left kneecap like there was a pen tip on the end. Like you could draw that perfect circle with it. And we'll go ahead and circle the other way. So again, switching directions if you haven't already, making sure we keep our belly button in towards the spine. And let's go ahead and place the left knee back down onto the floor, getting ready to push back to our downward dog. So let's get a strong press through both palms, through the L shape of the hand, the index finger and the thumb. Tuck the toes, and using our next exhale, we push the hips towards the ceiling. Arms are nice and straight here. Pedal out the feet, waking up the calves, giving them a little bit of a dynamic stretch here. And let's meet in stillness. Big breath in. And exhale, press the chest towards the thighs, heels towards the floor. If they don't touch, that's okay. And inhale, right leg up to the ceiling, 3-leg dog. Exhale, step that foot through between the hands, coming into our low lunge. So let's inhale, sweep the hands up to the ceiling just for a moment. We'll stretch the hip flexor out. Exhale, shift the hips forward, keep the front foot flat on the ground. Should feel this stretch through the left hip flexor here, keeping our core tucked in, avoiding any arching in the low back. One more breath in here, reach up nice and long. Exhale, sink it forward. And let's place our hands onto the mat, framing this front foot. We'll go ahead and straighten our right leg for our half split, flexing the right foot towards you. Exhale, fold it forward just for a moment. Then we're going to move through these two stretches dynamically here. So we'll take a big breath in, looking forward, halfway lift. Exhale, back down, chest over the thigh. And let's bring it forward to our hip flexor stretch again. Low lunge, looking forward. You can keep the hands on the floor. Then let's move it back to our half split. So we'll move through these fluidly here 2 more times. Inhale, coming forward. Maybe you sweep the hands up. And exhale into your half split, shifting the hips back towards the heel. And let's do that one more time. Right foot plants. We inhale, belly button in tight, reaching for the ceiling if you like. Low lunge. And shifting back one more time for our half split, lengthening the right leg. Maybe you feel a bit looser this time. And coming forward for our low lunge, let's add a little twist before we switch sides. Left hand plants, right hand opens up to the ceiling. Low lunge with our twist. And right hand plants back down. We tuck the left toes, push back to your downward dog. Feel free to pedal out the feet for a moment. And inhale, left leg up to the ceiling this time. 3-leg dog. Exhale, stepping through between the hands, coming into our low lunge. Right knee meets the floor. Inhale, sweep the hands up to the ceiling. Exhale, hips forward. Again, trying to keep our hips and ribs stacked on top of each other. Should be feeling this stretch through the right hip flexor this time. One more breath. And exhale, one more time. We sink it forward if that's comfortable for you. And then we'll move into our half split, lengthening the left leg, flexing the left toes back towards you. Little fold over this left thigh. Embracing our half split here before we move between our low lunge and half split. So let's inhale, maybe you halfway lift, look forward. And exhale, fold it over this left thigh one more time. And walking the hands back forward for our low lunge, left foot plants. We inhale, reach up to the ceiling, nice and high. And exhale, folding for our half split. So taking the time you need to move between the two. But we're not staying for very long, so we'll inhale, move back through our low lunge. Hands reach up to the ceiling, core engage, hips forward. And back through to our half split, straightening out the left leg, flex the toes, fold forward. And last one here, planting the left toes, inhale, reach up. And exhale, fold it down once more. Final stretch for our left hamstring. And coming back through to center, let's tuck the right toes, push back to our downward dog, pedal out the feet. And we'll come forward to our plank so we can lower down to our knees. Let's sit back onto our bum. So we'll open up the hips a little bit before we get moving. So let's go ahead and take some windshield wipers or 90/90s. So a little bit different hip opener than our first one. We'll sit back onto the hands, try to keep the fingertips facing the bum. You want a nice straight line from your ankle to your knee and then your knee to your hip. So looking for that 90-degree angle, hence the 90/90 name, where you'll see why they get called windshield wipers as well. Once you've found this position with both sides, lean back onto the hands, keep the shoulders away from the ears, and we'll try and flip this position over to the other side. So if the knees don't touch the floor, that's okay. Don't try to force them there. Just move between the two. Eventually, as you gain flexibility, they'll get closer to the floor. So we'll take 5 or so each way. Allowing each side just to come down towards the floor naturally. Again, don't want to feel like you're forcing it. And coming back through to center. We'll come out of that position and we're off. So I'm going to head outside for a run now. I hope you guys enjoyed that. And if you're going for a run as well, all the best. And I will see you in the next one. Namaste.